Today, I'll be sharing the different strategies for you to earn your first $1 million. I'll be breaking down this video into two parts. First, I will share the basic formula of future value so that you can plan out the 3 variables to earn your first million. And with this formula in mind, I'll then share the different strategies for you to make your first $1 million. If this video helps, I would appreciate it if you could smash that like and subscribe button because we aim to break down complex financial topics into bite-sized, easily understandable videos. Let's go. Finance was my favorite subject in college because we learned about money. There are various concepts to understand, such as the time value of money, discounted cash flow, and net present value. But the method we'll use to understand how we can earn our first million is the future value of annuity formula. This formula shows that there are only 3 variables to reach our first million. The first is how much money we need to invest every month, and the second is the internal rate of return our investments provide, and finally, the number of months or years we'll be investing. Any increment in any of the 3 variables will result in an increase in its future value. And it totally makes sense, right? A 20% rate of return will allow us to reach $1 million faster than a 5% return. Or if we save $2,000 a month, we will reach $1 million quicker than those who have been investing $500 a month. Alternatively, if we have been investing for 20 years, our portfolio will be greater than those who have only been investing over 5 years. You can Google future value calculator yourself, but I've made this Google Sheet formula, which I think is much more straightforward. You can open it on your phone, but playing around with the numbers using a computer is easier. I made it view only so that the formula doesn't get messed up, but you can simply click File and then make a copy to play around with the numbers. You need to key in numbers on the cells in orange, and the top is the rate of return you're projected to earn in a given year, and the middle cell is the number of months that you'll be investing, and the last cell is how much you plan on investing every month. Now, this is the critical point to understand. It is common for people to brag about getting 15%, 25%, 30% annual returns. But those percentages don't matter if you only achieve it 1 year because of luck. Anyone can earn 15 to 25% on a small portfolio that you're willing to take on high risk. But what is crucial is the number that represents the rate that you're getting on all your portfolio over a prolonged period, say 5, 10, 15, or even 20 years. For instance, if we invest $1,500 every month for 240 months or 20 years at a rate of return of 6.25%, our investments will be worth $1.2 million. You can tweak it yourself. Let's assume you're extra aggressive and have been investing it all in the S&P 500. From 1957 to 2021, the S&P 500 have been averaging 11.88%. With 11.88% and assuming you are still investing $1,500 a month over 20 years, your portfolio will be worth $1.5 million. Or if you only plan to invest for the next 15 years, you'll be 3/4 of your way to $1 million. So if you want to get your first million in 15 years, you can either find ways to increase your average annual return to 15%, which is a super aggressive number, or you can increase your monthly investments to $2,000 instead. Both of which will allow you to reach your first million in 15 years. To recap, for you to reach $1 million, there are only 3 variables. Number 1, the rate of return, the length of investment, and finally, the amount that you're planning to invest every month. With that in mind, we can focus on the different strategies to maximize each variable. Among these 3, the easiest is number 2, because it's just about how long we plan on investing, which is totally within our control. At least the planning part. This is why it is highly advisable to start investing early. If you're 22 years old planning on investing for 30 years, it is easy. But it's a different story if you're 40 years old, since most of us are not planning to work until we are 70. And over a prolonged period of time, compounding interest will work its magic. Let me illustrate. We're projected to have almost $1 million in 15 years by saving $2,000 a month while earning an average rate of 11.88%. What is the portfolio in 30 years if we invest the same amount and earn the same rate over a prolonged period? You may logically think, you know what, we can make $1 million in 15 years, so if we invest for 30 years, maybe we'll earn double or triple, right? The answer will blow your mind because your portfolio will be worth $7 million. And this is the magic of compounding interest. This is why I always recommend starting out as soon as possible. Whenever you first enter the job market, don't spend on things that are not essential. Instead, save up as much as possible because the investment on your first paycheck will be able to work the longest. If you plan on working for 30 years, your money can grow 30 times the first year, 29 times the following year, 28 times the third year, and so on. And the sooner we start, the easier it is for us to reach our first million because of compounding interest. Now, let's move on to the following variable. How can we increase our monthly investment? There are only two ways. We can either increase our income by working our asses off to get promoted, start a business, and find side hustle, or we can reduce our monthly expenses. Either way, the objective is for us to have more money to invest. And I like to encourage people to spend only on the most essential things because too many people spend the money that they don't have to buy things they don't need to impress other people that don't matter. For many people, the order is to spend on the must-haves like mortgage, electricity, food, and water first, and then paying for whatever that you want second, and then if you have some leftover cash, you will then invest. But number 2 and number 3 are in the wrong order. The better approach is to spend on the essentials and then save up as much as possible, and then if you have some leftover, you can then spend it on movies, trips, restaurants, upgrading your phone, or even your car. Prioritize investments and savings first, then leisure, not the other way around. Finally, how do we increase the rate of return? We have a few choices. We can invest in treasury bills, mutual funds, bonds, stocks, crypto, and even in a business. And of course, each instrument has a different return. But usually, the higher the risk, the higher the return, and vice versa. For example, if you were to have a graph of risk versus return, treasury bills would fall into the low risk, low return category. And if you pick bond funds, they will typically be higher risk and return than treasury bills. If you invest in property, stocks, crypto, and even in a business, they are commonly associated with higher risk and higher return. So, you can increase your rate of return by choosing riskier assets, or you can develop deep insights and the ability to invest in certain assets that can lead you to earn a higher rate of return for the same risk or the same return for a lower risk. For example, someone who invests in real estate for 10 to 20 years will likely be able to earn a higher return for the same amount of risk or the same amount of return for a lower risk because this person has developed a deeper understanding of how the real estate markets work and also discover the ability to identify the most ideal properties to invest. Someone who has been successfully running a burger chain will also be able to have a lower risk investing in the next burger chain than someone who is opening their restaurant for the first time. And someone who has been investing in the stock market for decades and understands how to beat the index will have a higher probability of earning a higher return for the same amount of risk. I hope this video helps you strategize how you would want to reach your first million. Of course, the examples I gave assumes a simplistic assumption. For instance, you will likely earn more and more as time goes by and as your career advances. And the rate of return will also fluctuate. You can make 20% this year, minus 5% next year, and 10% the following year. But no matter the scenario, the principle will always stay constant. You need to focus on strategizing to increase your rate of return, the monthly investment, and the amount of time that you plan on investing. If you like videos like this, click the subscribe button, or you can click on this video to learn more about analyzing businesses. Thank you, and I will see you guys again in the next video.